program, we're going to be talking more about those Newfoundland wildfires and the steep fines that the province is fining people for banning fire violations. There is currently an ongoing province-wide fire ban for Newfoundland and Labrador with the current wildfire situation. Certainly they need all the help that they can get. The good news is that we have some rain on the way. Well, today is not going to feature rain for Atlantic Canada. I must say, for those wildfire efforts, the winds are quite light, which is good news. That means it's not going to fan the flames much further. However, any rain is a good thing, and this is much needed rain. You can see the next couple of days quite soggy, with rain starting on Sunday for Atlantic Canada, continuing until at least Tuesday. And speaking of rain, if you're in parts of southern Ontario, you could expect some rumbles of thunder, especially through the overnight on Saturday and through Sunday morning. Damaging wind, large hail, heavy rain, all associated with this storm potential. Places in orange, anywhere from Val-d'Or to Chapleau and Sudbury. You can expect more probability of those severe possible storms as they make their way through Saturday evening. You can see here with ongoing rain for those in southeastern Ontario by your Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. If you have plans outdoors for Ottawa and Kingston tomorrow, you may need to have an indoor alternative in place. As for your temperatures, we're still feeling the heat this afternoon. Winds are feeling like 40 with that humidex. But good news is, as we progress throughout the weekend and in through your early work week, temperatures starting to moderate, giving way to fresher air. 22 degrees on Monday for Ottawa. That's certainly going to feel a lot more refreshing than the past heat waves we've been forecasting for southern Ontario. As for those on the west, I mentioned earlier that atmospheric river. We can see the last 24 hours dropping about 100 millimeters on Vancouver. We still have some more rain left to fall for the interior and the central coast. You can see on your Saturday, by Monday, we slowly start to taper off that rain, but we still do have quite the rain still left to fall. Certainly not as heavy as what you've experienced in the past days. You can see northern portions of the coast could still expect upwards of 100 millimeters. And with that being said, we could expect some thunderstorm capability, especially along the prairie provinces, southern portions of Saskatchewan. You could expect thunderstorms into your Saturday, mainly through the overnight. So Sunday morning, you likely could wake up to some rumbles of thunder, damaging wind, large hail, heavy rain, all associated with this storm potential as the system makes its way through on your Saturday across northern portions of Alberta. By Saturday overnight, that's when central portions of Saskatchewan and southern portions of Saskatchewan could expect a thunderstorm. And the wind is certainly going to help those ongoing firefighters helping to battle the flames. You can see the past 60 days has been quite dry across the east, but with troughs on the way across Atlantic Canada, this is good news. It's going to give way to cooler temperatures, but also the chance for some rainfall. Much needed rain. Any rain is welcome at this point. And you can see up until at least Tuesday, we have a soggy pattern expected, as well as light wind gusts in the forecast this weekend. Well, today is going to be dry across Atlantic Canada. The good news is that all of this wind is pushing the smoke offshore, which is giving way to clearer skies. Less hazy skies across the country, but also the air quality index is at a low risk right now, which is great news. Meanwhile, your temperatures, they're slowly going to start to cool down. You can see dropping to about 16 degrees on Sunday. And this is going to be the storyline for much of the East Coast as well as southern Ontario, as we've seen that periods of heat waves across the entire East Coast. We're slowly going to start to get some fresher air. Now, we're also monitoring the wildfire situation across southern Ontario. As you can see, Kawartha Lakes, we still do have some fires burning. And with that being said, rain is on the way for those areas as well as the Nickel Belt, as we could expect some thunderstorm capability through the overnight on Saturday and through Sunday morning. You can see Saturday through the evening, that's when we start to see the rain through Sault Ste. Marie, Chapleau, Sudbury. And then as we continue in through your Sunday Sunday, throughout Sunday evening, you could expect rain for the southeastern portions of Ontario. And those temperatures, they're going to start to slowly cool down across southern Ontario as well. You can see today we still have some heat and humidity, but as we enter your Sunday overnight, you can see the overnight lows dropping to about 10 degrees, which is going to make your mornings feel a lot more fresh. Most of the time this summer, we've been waking up to already 20-degree temperatures. So 10 degrees, you might need a light jacket or even a sweater. As for the west, we still have some below seasonal temperatures. We'll talk more about that in the program on Weather AM. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Network. This is Weather AM. Thanks for tuning in this weekend. We're going to get you prepared for your weekend ahead. I'm Victoria Fenn, Alvarado. If you have any outdoor plans, feel free to send us a picture or video. You can do so on social media, #ShareYourWeather at the Weather Network or at Victoria Fenn Alvarado on any social media platform. Heat and humidity still lingering today. 31 degrees is what it's going to feel like in Niagara Falls with sunny skies. Feeling more like 37 in Toronto, and the heat still remains through the overnight. We are getting a break from the warm temperatures, though. Here's more with meteorologist Laura Power. And to help us navigate through the storm and the timing of it is meteorologist Laura Power. Laura, with this hurricane, it is far off the coast right now, but it could still bring some impacts to some places. Where is it headed, and what's the timing on this?
Yeah, absolutely, Victoria. Starting off with just the satellite shot arc, but again, much changes happens when we're forecasting a hurricane with lots of different steering factors.
Yeah, we'll continue to monitor the story as this makes its way up through the coast. Is there any way that this could potentially bring remnants or impacts to Atlantic Canada in terms of like rainfall in the near future?
Yeah, absolutely, Victoria. The system, as I just showed you, will likely remain offshore.
There are improvements, though, within our Canadian forecast with the hazy skies, not much smoke over top of our country, which is giving way to better air quality. It's been multiple weeks of poor air quality in many parts of the country, and right now the air quality is at a low risk. That is good news. Also good news is the heat waves finally starting to diminish across eastern portions of the country. While today is still going to feature some humidity across southern Ontario as well as Atlantic Canada, I'll show you your temperatures as they slowly start to moderate in the upcoming days. Meanwhile, on the west, you are fairly below seasonal for the most part, just about 23 degrees in Winnipeg, 20 degrees for those in Vancouver. More rain on the way for the west. I'll show you that in a few moments. But first, let's start off our weather story here in southern Ontario as well as Atlantic Canada as we have rain making its way through Ontario, making its way to Atlantic Canada to end off the weekend and to start off the work week today. Much drier for those in Atlantic Canada, but good news with rain on the way. As for storms across southern Ontario, we could expect damaging winds, large hail, and heavy rainfall, especially for the Nickel Belt, anywhere from Sudbury to Chapleau, all the way to Val d'Or. That's where you could expect some overnight thunderstorm capability, likely through the overnight Saturday in through Sunday morning. By Sunday evening, that's when we could expect rain for Kingston, Ottawa, and Montreal. And the temperatures slowly starting to become cooler, giving way to fresher air. Certainly much needed fresh air, as we can see overnight lows on Sunday night dropping to about 10 degrees through Ottawa, 13 degrees through Toronto, and you can see the daytime highs as we start off the work week getting into around the 20-degree range, which is quite the relief from the 40-degree humidex we've been experiencing recently.
Did you change your cell phone?
You're watching Weather AM. It is Saturday, August the 16th. Thank you for joining us here at the Weather Network. A break from the heat will give way to much fresher air in your forecast. We'll tell you about how cool we're going to get in a moment. And if you stick around during In the Know, we're talking all about Hurricane Erin, which has been classified as a Category 4, the first hurricane of the Atlantic hurricane season thus far. Now, low risk this morning on your Saturday across the GTA in terms of air quality, but heat still lingering, feeling more like 37 in Toronto. You're not going to need a jacket or a sweater if you're headed outside this evening, as the heat's still lingering, 34 with that humidity through the evening hours. If you're headed to Niagara Falls, 31 degrees, sunny skies, feeling more like 36. Whatever your outdoor plans are, feel free to send us a picture or a video. We love to see it. You can send it to me at Victoria Fenn Alvarado or at the Weather Network on any social media platform. All right, with your full forecast, here is meteorologist Laura Power.